how you doing? Consulted by G-Dot family. It is your boy G-Dot back with another inspirational, motivational, and financially freeing video. And then today we're going to be covering why most teens and most people in general are broke and stay broke. Now, this isn't to slander anyone. This is just to point out what you're missing in your life to take you to that next level. A lot of people are wondering, oh, why do I stay broke? Why don't I have any money? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? So we're going to be covering the main things that keep people broke and keep people in a worker mindset instead of financially freeing themselves to achieve their goals and achieve their dreams. So before we do this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's get straight into the video. And the first issue that we have is a lack of financial education in schools, because as we all know, you go to grammar school, middle school, high school, even when you get in college, no one really tells you how to manage money and what to do with your money to make more from it. Everyone just tells you need to work, and they instill into you that you have to work until you die. But that's not really what goes on for the majority of people. Some people do actually work until they die, but for the majority of people, they put up their money, they save their money, they invest their money, and most people are not taught that, which really messes them up in the future because they don't understand what to do with the money when they start getting it. Because it's a lot of people that run into money when at a young age, or they get a good paying job, or just have a string of good luck and start running into a bunch of money, but they don't understand what to do with that money, which is why they in turn lose all of it. So for example, you might have someone that runs into $50,000 from inheritance or $20,000 from their job because they got a settlement or something of that nature, but they don't understand, okay, I need to split my money into different bank accounts. I need to have a savings account, a spending account, a bills account, and an investing account. Some people don't understand that. Other people don't understand that, hey, instead of having my money sitting in a savings account all day 24/7, maybe I should invest this money into SPY or into Bitcoin or into investments that are proven to make money and get my return on my investment, instead of having it sitting in a savings account that only earns 0.01% interest over time, and that doesn't even amount to $1 if you keep it in there for a year. So you want to understand where you're keeping your money and how your money can work for you, but you also want to educate yourself on what you can do with your money, how to split up your money, and things of that nature. So once you start getting the money, you can actually put it in the right places and allocate it so you don't lose out on anything. The second issue that most people have is spending mindset versus an earning mindset. Now, a spending mindset is, oh, I need to just go ahead and spend all my money. Oh, I like these Balenciagas, I like these Jordans, I like this, I like that, I need it now, I need. But that's not something that you really need, that's something that you want. And that's what's gonna cause you to spend all of your money instead of having an earning mindset and building good habits like I was just talking about earlier. Splitting up your money, investing your money, allocating your money to the right places, having a rainy day fund just in case anything ever goes wrong. These are things that you need to do, so once you start getting the money, you won't just spend it on things that don't matter, because the average person, once they get their check, it's already gone the next day. You have someone that maybe makes $2,000 every week. They make $2,000. So after they pay their bills, let's say they have $1,300 left. Some people will take that money and then instantly go out to eat. Then after that, they'll start spending money on clothes, spending money on jewelry, spending money on impressing women or impressing men, whichever way you might lean towards. And then once they look up from doing that, they only have $200 to stretch for another week until they get another $2,000, and then repeat the process, and then wonder why they're broke every week. Compared to someone that has an earning mindset and that takes that $2,000, spend their money on bills, and then after they have the $1,400 left, they split the money up between 50% going into a savings account, 30% going into an investment account, and then the rest you just have as your F-off money. This is the money that you live off of. This is the money that you spend. So now you don't just have $1,300 sitting in the bank account. You're like, oh, I just have $1,300. I can go willy-nilly and do whatever I want to do. Now, let's say you only have $200-300 to last you that week. Now you're going to be more frugal with that money, or going to spend money on things that you actually need compared to things that you actually want. Because if you only have a lump sum of money in your account, you're going to look at it like, oh, I can just spend this money, whatever. I don't really care. I can just spend it, la-di-da-di-da. But if you only have a certain amount of money, then you're going to be like, oh, I can't really just spend it on anything I want. I actually have to stretch it. I actually have to spend it on things that I need. So instead of just buying the Balenciagas, if I do need some new shoes, I might buy the Asics. I might buy the New Balances. If I do need some new clothes, instead of going to Amiri, I might go ahead and go on Fashion Nova, or I might actually go on Zara. Things of that nature is going to make or break your budget. So you have to pay attention to those little things. It's a small detail that are going to make or break how much money that you actually take home with you, because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. That's the thing that people don't tell you. The third thing is letting fear or laziness win, because a lot of people are scared to actually miss out. The FOMO and fear of missing out is something that a lot of people suffer from, because they have their friends that are going on vacation, they have their friends that are going out and buying section, they have their friends that are going to Fogo de Chao and Ruth Chris and Fleming and buying all these expensive meals and buying all these expensive things. But what they don't understand is they're not missing out. They're just rushing their process because it might not be time for you to do that yet. So if you do rush your process, you will end up like your friends. And even though it looks turn and it looks fun on their story when they're telling you about it, and when they tell you when they send you videos of where they're at, what you don't understand is a lot of people that go on these vacations are going there and spending their last on these vacations coming home broke. Well, a lot of people that are going on these vacations are saving up for months on end to go on this vacation and then come home and then not actually have any money saved up anymore because they spent all of it on a vacation. What they're not telling you about going to the club or going to these restaurants is they just have enough money for what they can afford, and if any one thing goes wrong, they'll be spending the night in jail because they can't afford to pay for the bill. So you have to understand these things and the nuances of FOMO and understand that everything isn't for you right now. It may be for you in a year, a few months, a couple years. You never know what your process is, and you can't rush your process. But the fear of missing out and being lazy and not reaching your full potential will hurt you more than anything, because not only will fear of missing out bite you in the ass, but the laziness of not getting up and do what you're supposed to do, and the laziness of not actually pushing yourself to put 100% effort in every day will actually hurt you more, because now when it comes down to, oh, it's time to pay bills, or it's time to do this, or it's time to do that, your laziness will have kept you back from making the money that you were supposed to make, or your laziness will have kept you back from reaching the actual goal that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year. So you have to get rid of your fear of missing out because of what people are doing that looks fun. You have to get rid of your laziness, because if you don't get rid of your laziness and you don't get rid of your fear of missing out, then you're just gonna end up a broke loser and a washed up has-been, and no one wants to be that. And the last thing that people are doing that is actually messing up their life is chasing short-term gratification. Now, I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but short-term gratification is essentially you want to win right now. You want what you want right now. So instead of being like, oh, let me save up for this car, because even though I can go put the deposit on it right now and pay for the insurance, I'll be broke after doing it and I won't have any money to put gas in the car. You should be like, oh, let me go ahead and save up a little more, so once I do put the money down on the car, I can actually afford the insurance comfortably. I already have my next month's car note saved up, so I can actually put the money down on that to the side, so that way I can start not worrying about the car anymore. I can focus on other things that matter in my life that I need to take care of now, instead of being like, oh, I just bought this car, I'm broke, I need money now, which puts you in a fight or flight mode, which has you doing things that you would not necessarily do in a normal situation. For example, robbing people, scamming, selling drugs, selling yourself, things of that nature. People lean towards doing because they chase short-term gratification, and that leads them into precarious situations that they can get out of and wouldn't be in if they just use their noggin and say, hey, it's okay to miss out. Hey, it's okay to not have the newest car right now, or the newest jewelry, or the newest clothes, because I know what I'm chasing, I know what I'm doing, so I'm chasing that goal. So that's what you have to understand when you're dealing with different people. That's what you have to understand when you're going through life. Everything isn't going to happen when you want it to happen. Some things happen later in life, some things happen earlier in life, but everything happens when it needs to happen. The only things you can focus on is what you can control. So that's what you need to stop doing, is chasing short-term gratification, and start chasing your dreams and start chasing the bigger goal, because it's a marathon, not a race. A lot of people treat life like a sprint. It's nothing but a sprint. It is a marathon that continues a lifelong race. So now you have people that sprinted the first 20 years of their life and then they start walking, and so you have someone that's been jogging the entire time is going to eventually beat them out in life and live a better life than them, compared to someone that's been running their whole life and then they stopped at 20 and 25 and now they got complacent and lazy. The person that's been jogging and going steady their whole life will eventually beat them at 30, 35, and then they'll live a better, more prosperous life, compared to the person that sprinted to their 20, 25, got lazy, and then fell off when they were 30, 35 because they didn't have any more drive or any more juice in them. So that's one thing you definitely want to avoid. But I hope you found this video motivating and inspirational, because I understand there are a lot of people that want to break the cycle of poverty in their family, and I hope this video can help shed some light on how you can do that in a fun, freeing way. But I have more information that'll be coming daily, and I have more videos that'll be coming daily as well. So if you want to get in on that, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell, and I'll be back with you for another video sooner than you think.